This person is become superly disciplined, but I think he will. Like, so the link to the video will be the discipline below. Go and check them out. So let's into this person in 3, 2, 1.
Have you ever wondered why some people are so disciplined and why other people can't even stick to a routine for like a week? Like, it's not motivation and it's not genetics. It's a simple thing that, like, once you get it down,
Yeah.
you're never gonna be lazy again.
Wow, really?
About 5 years ago, just before lockdown, I was
Yeah.
going to the gym. I was making great progress. Everything was going good in my life.
Yeah.
And I was actually getting pretty disciplined. Like, I was going to the gym consistently and I was also sticking on my diet. I was cooking for myself, meal prepping. Everything was great. I was
Yeah.
actually pretty disciplined for like the first time in my life, and I was feeling good about myself. But then lockdowns hit,
Yeah.
and there's no more gym. Everybody sat at home,
Yeah.
and it was different. Okay, I was turning into a different person. Like by the end of lockdown, I just turned into this like soft person that couldn't do those things I did previously. Like, I couldn't go to the gym anymore. I
Yeah.
just wasn't disciplined. And I had a hard time really doing anything. I got so lazy and I got so complacent from just staying at home that I lost all of my discipline. And
Wow,
I was
really?
so upset with myself. I mean, I was really upset because I was making good progress way back in the day. And
What
then
back
who am
in the
I this
day?
person now? This soft person. So it made me really upset. Like, I kind of hated who I was. I was somewhat depressed at this time. I
Wow.
struggled to get out of bed. But
Wow.
eventually, when lockdown started to ease off
Yeah.
and everybody started going back to their jobs and going back to school, I did as well. I went back to school and, I kind of got sick of myself. I wanted to change. So I did. I actually made one of the best changes I ever had in my life, and I made a complete 180. I turned myself into this lazy person all the way into this disciplined person. And I did it. It was like amazing. And it was pretty simple
Amazing.
actually. It took some progress, it took some work, it took some discipline, but I actually did it. And I was happy with myself again. The way to get stupidly disciplined is extremely easy. See, this is what you do. You start small with something. It doesn't matter what the heck it is. Like, it's best to start with some kind of habit or something that you actually want to do and start small with it, like going to the gym, and then you progressively overload it. And I'll give you a gym example. Like when you go to the gym, you lift some certain weight. Let's say that you lift 135 on bench press. And
Yeah.
let's say you do that a few times a week. Well, if you do everything correctly, you sleep well, you get your protein in, you get the calories in, you're going to get stronger the next week. So after lifting 135,
Yeah.
it's going to be pretty easy for you. So you can do a little bit more weight the next week. And if you keep repeating that, pretty much what you're doing is you're progressively overloading. The weight you're doing
Wow,
right
really?
now, if you do it consistently, you get stronger over time. And it's the
Wow.
same way with everything else. You get used to the things you do, and you can progressively overload them, which means you
Yeah.
can make them a little bit harder. And you want to start with a weight that you can lift. That
Yeah.
makes sense, right? You
Yeah.
wouldn't start with some extremely heavy weight that you can't do, because you're obviously going to fail.
Yeah.
And that goes for literally everything else in life. If you
Yeah.
take that example, like if you want to start whatever it is, it really doesn't matter. Something that you want to do, you start with a manageable load, a manageable weight, okay? And it's best to use this as like habits, for example. If you want to start a habit, it doesn't matter what the heck it is. Like if you want to start reading, you start small, you do something that you can do every single day. You read,
Yeah.
let's say, one page of a book every single day. And that's really easy, right? You can do that. Even
Yeah.
on bad days, you can read a single page. And if you do that for a week, you can progressively overload into
Yeah.
reading just a little bit more. and you keep doing that. So pretty much you're going to pick up the habit of reading very easily. And over the long run, if you do this over some person that, say, let's say some random normal person starts trying to read, well, they're going to read, they're going to set some high expectation for themselves. That's
Yeah.
too much for them. They're going to read maybe 30 minutes a day or an hour a day. That may be too hard for them because they're just starting out. That's a new habit for them. So that's why it's so important to start with something very easy, okay? And it's pretty much as simple as that. You start with something easy, you do it consistently, and then you make it harder. If you're failing at whatever you're doing, it's because it's too hard for you,
Yeah.
okay? It's as simple as that. It's too hard for you. You're not at that level yet.
Yeah.
See, if you put this into like levels, for example, everybody's on some discipline kind of level, you know,
Yeah.
and like using like some video game level or whatever, right?
Yeah.
We're on some level, and every task that we do takes some kind of discipline level. And lots of people choose things that are too hard for them. They're not at that level yet. And they do it and they fail and they get upset with themselves. But it's because it's too hard for them. They haven't got there yet. That's why you have to start with something that you can do, that is extremely easy. And it's kind of like brain dead because if you want to start doing something, you got to make it super easy. You literally have to turn your brain off. You have to silence your ego. Like, if you're going to the gym for the first time in your life, you have no experience, your goal should be going to the gym. You don't even have to exercise. It's as simple as that. Like, if you go to the gym, you don't even have to exercise for like 1 week, then you can start going to the gym and doing like a 5-minute workout. Imagine the progress that you make in a month compared to some other guy that's trying to go to the gym. I mean, and then over a year. Like, you're going to make so much more progress, and it's actually going to be manageable for you. It's going to be easier. This is how you get disciplined. A lot of people think that you got to live this hard, extreme life, but it's not. It's just you take things that you can do, and then you make them a little bit harder each time that you do them, like, successfully. You progressively overload. And it's very simple. Like, lots of people don't do this correctly. And lots of people are kind of stupid because they do something too hard for themselves.
Yeah.
And then they fail. And they get upset with themselves. You can understand why
Yeah.
it doesn't work out for them because it's too hard. That's why you got to
Yeah.
start with something easy. And it's very important that you silence your ego. Okay? You have to tell your brain to shut up. Doesn't matter, okay? You have to tell your brain to shut up. Because your brain's going to tell you that you're better than this.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to the gym for the first time and your goal is to, like, make it a habit, and as I said
Yeah.
earlier, your goal, if you're going to the gym for the first time, you're a beginner, your goal should actually be going to the gym. Doesn't matter if you work out. You need to build the habit of actually going there, even if you don't want to, right? At the beginning, your brain's probably going to tell you, no, we need to do this workout. We need to do this thing. You're better than this. But you're not. Like, listen, if you're not a disciplined guy already, like, if you're watching this and you're not disciplined already, it's because of your own brain. And I'm sorry to tell you that. Like, your brain is holding you back. It is keeping you from doing the things that you want to do. It's mostly because of your ego telling you that you're better than you actually are. But you really have to bring some awareness on this and tell yourself that, no, I am not. I'm not this level. Like, our brains tell us that we're all the way up here, but we may be down here in actuality.
Yeah.
So you just have to be careful of that. You know, I really wanted to say that, like, for most of my life, I struggled to get out of bed. Even though I was trying to become this super disciplined person, and even though I was trying to maximize everything in my life, I've always struggled with laziness. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I've always struggled to get out of bed. Even today, I still get out of bed, but it's extremely hard for me, okay? It's extremely hard for me to do all these things. I naturally came from a lazy background.
Oh,
And
man.
I'm here to tell you, this actually works, Okay, if you start small on something easy, you just
Yeah.
start really small, and you just do it over and over, you're gonna make a little bit of progress. And the biggest benefit you get from that is you actually see yourself making progress, and that's awesome because you get this positive reinforcement, and you feel better, and it's great because if you see yourself making progress, you're gonna get happier with yourself because you're doing the things that you're supposed to be doing, and you're just gonna keep doing it over and over. It's like positive reinforcement. So this stuff actually works. I'm so happy of the progress that I've made and how I came from a naturally lazy person to who I am now. And I believe right now I'm pretty disciplined and I'm happy for myself. And I want you to know this, I'm going to say it again. This really does work, okay? This is one of the best tactics that you can do.
Yeah.
And listen, I feel for you, bro. Like, if you're, if you feel like you have a hard time doing anything
Yeah.
and you're not very disciplined right now, I
Yeah.
understand. I get it. It's hard. It's hard. Like after
Immediately you thought, yeah.
trying to be disciplined, like after a few days, you can burn out. And I get it, man. It's hard. But
Yeah.
just start small, okay? Just start small and keep doing it, okay? Because you'll make progress and you actually
Yeah.
will get it, okay? Take care of yourself, bro. I'll see you.
Yeah. Wow. So very true, yeah. We all are lazy at some point, yeah. Wow. So I became stupidly disciplined by adding keyboard. The link to the video will be the description below. Go and check them out and drop a like if you like. And comment below if you want to see me, so you can be so you can see more if you want to see more reaction like this. And subscribe if you're new and click the bell so you can be notified when I upload in what. Bye. Wow.